You are watching ILFL Soccer Nights.
Sponsored by Hawk and Eagle.
Welcome back. You're here on a Monday night with Soccer Night. The show is sponsored by Hawk and Eagle. It's good to have you along. And for those of you that are running around in the first division now, it's your shout. It's time to see what happened with your division, and in particular, the game between Bromley Juniors and Bow. Now, you've heard us mention for many weeks now how Bromley Juniors can't buy a win, sometimes can't buy a goal. A complete transformation from the team that was hitting so many goals last season. Is this division just a little bit too tough for them? They came up against the Bow side, who have had a mixture of results, but have proved themselves against the teams higher up in the league. Bit of a foregone conclusion between them and Bromley Juniors, you'd think. Let's see the highlights and show you what happened yesterday. Bromley Juniors versus Bow.
Try to take a shot.
Bromley Juniors, what can I say? 3 points, 2-0. You won a game for the first time in I don't know how long. Congratulations to you. Well deserved, a moral boosting performance. And is this now the time to go and win a few games perhaps? You can't win the division, but you can certainly not finish bottom if you keep playing like that. What are we going to say about that, Rush?
It was a very passionate game, I must say. I didn't expect it to be that passionate. It was very physical. I think both teams were desperate for a win. I think it's because of bragging rights and the rivalry they have. There was less football, more physical, more passion. I must congratulate Mukhtar for scoring the goal within 6 seconds, which he
well done, sir, well done.
But for me, I think one of the defenders was the man of the match. I think his name is Nahid Chowdhury from Bromley Juniors. I think he's got a lot of talent, very young, and I think he kept the defence. Both had chances, had 3-4 chances, which if they had taken when they were 1-0 down, it could have been a different game. But Bromley Juniors held on, especially with the defence they had. I think they deserved a win, and it's been a long waiting win for them.
So you saw the game. You know we've spoken about Bromley and how they've been on free fall for the last few weeks. So what could you see in that game that has possibly changed for them?
I think with this game it's quite hard to tell because they didn't play much football. There's more, because of the passion between both teams, it was more physical rather than technical. There was less technical ability. I didn't see much formation or tactics. It was a matter of pride, it's a matter of win, do or die situation. It was like a cup game basically. I think so. It's quite hard to judge their game performance going forward. But hopefully, when we see a league game next week, then we can make more assessment.
I think they were more in the comfort zone than anything else because those two teams were in the same division the previous season and they finished next to each other. In this season, they're facing each other as well, and they're next to each other in the table as well. So I think they know each other, they know how they play, and I think that's when Bromley made all the right decisions and Bow didn't.
Good point. Bragging rights to Bromley Juniors. Well done to you. There are only 2 other games played in the first division yesterday. Lotus, they lose again to SCTA, losing by 4-0. And West End, don't know how that went, whether it was scrappy, hard fought, or whether it was just a lucky kick that fell off the back of someone's head. But they got the lucky goal, which beat Weavers by 1-0. The first division, Rash, it's is it just taking shape, and is it going to be who we think? I mean, when we take a look at the table, we can see West End, Leytonstone and Tower Hamlets are still there. They are the top 3 teams. But Burdett are only just 3 points behind third place now. It's not a foregone conclusion.
It's definitely not a foregone conclusion because those 4 teams, every week, it's going to, I think, it'll matter. Depends who they're playing. And I think other teams like Weavers, like SCTA, will come in to affect the teams at the top. Those 4 teams are too close to call. But as I said from the beginning of the season, my tip was West End and they're on top. But Leytonstone, the same points. Hamlet's a very good outfield.
We've had Burdett in here a couple of times now, talking themselves up.
And Burdett are very good, especially when they played against Bromley Junior. When I saw them 2 weeks ago, I was very, very impressed with the way they played. They actually played football. So I can see them mixing in with the top 3. And it's going to be quite hard to tell how it will plan out in the next few weeks.
The other 2 teams that I think can create a dent on the top 4, I think it's St Catherine's and SCTA. I mean, those 2 teams face 2 types of problems. St Catherine's, on one hand, have a combination issue. They've got so many players and they can't get the right players, the starting 11 right. With SCTA, most of us having serious trouble trying to get players in from different parts of the town. These players are all over the place, so it's on the day. Those 2 teams will definitely create problems.
Just to add, I think this Division 1 will probably go to the last day of the season. I think that's how close it is. It might go to the last game.
Let's take a look at the fixtures for the first division. This Sunday, let's run them down from top to bottom. We can see Burdett take on Lotus. Let's see if Lotus, don't think you're going to get 3 points there. Sorry to say that. St Catherine's take on Stepney B, an interesting game. Stepney lost the game, their last fixture, I think that was. But they'll come up against St Catherine's and will look to bounce back there. St Catherine's need a win to maintain position in their league. Leytonstone take on SCTA, and that's a big game. Let's see if the SCTA boys now have really got their season started and whether Leytonstone can maintain the pressure at the top. Tower Hamlets take on Bow. Bow will want to hit back hard and hit back against a good team. West End, it seems, we've had the easiest out of the top 3 against Iltown, but with Iltown you never know which team's going to turn up. And Weavers take on Bromley Juniors. There is also, for the first time this month, fixtures in the Premier Division. 4 fixtures there. Ireland take on a rejuvenated Beaumont now. Newark take on London Tigers. Brick Lane versus Cannon, and Sire versus Bromley. Tanjim, I have to turn to you now. Now you want the league win. against Ireland. Ireland, as we heard from Rashid, they pushed Tigers. The scoreline maybe flattered Tigers a little bit, so it's not an easy game coming up this Sunday for you.
I know it isn't, especially we played them earlier in the season. To be fair, we were very poor against them, but they are a very good team, especially their striker Lee, who's a big threat up front. So we need to be at our best to get all 3 points, which we really need. Can I just also say, I want to thank Regent's Lake for sponsoring our kit.
Of course. Always big up your sponsors on the show. That's what it's there for. I'm sure they're watching.
And a very, very good looking kit as well, so it adds a nice touch to it.
Excellent. I'm sure they're going to sponsor you for the next 5 years now. Rash, I have to talk about Newark and London Tigers, only for the simple fact that now with London Tigers a few points ahead of the rest, and victory this Sunday makes it very ominous for everybody else and puts one hand on the title for them.
I think that'll be a close match because Newark is a complete change team now. They've got a lot of experienced players back, likes of Prince, likes of Nana. They're actually in the relegation zone as well, so they know that they need a win to get out the bottom 3. So that it's not going to be an easy win for Tigers, and I think Newark will be one of the teams, if I had to put money on, to upset. And so that should be a close game, and I think Newark, on the day, they might do it. That's one of the teams I will actually have faith in compared to other teams.
You never know with Newark. Sire Bromley is another one. Bromley are probably, with Stepney not playing this Sunday, Bromley now, if they win this game, they go a point up above Stepney and 5 points behind Tigers. Is that maintaining pressure at the top?
You can, but saying that, Sire, I've seen them recently, they are desperate to get points. And they're at the foot of the table itself. I think they'll probably give their lives on Sunday. So that might come into effect. And Bromley, not in the cup, not going to go for title-wise. I think they're probably not looking too convincing. I'm not too sure. Sire might spring a surprise on Sunday. My money would be on Sire.
Wow, so you've called Sire. You're almost back in Newark to do Tigers.
Yeah.
Bold statements, but we've seen bold statements on this show before, and we've seen them come true. I walk in here the week after and I take a look at the fixtures, and I always have to point out somebody said something, right? Brook Lane versus Cannon. Where is the season going for those two teams now?
Yeah, they both had a good start, but unfortunately they fizzled out during the mid-season. So at this moment of time, I think they're just playing for pride and just trying to get some momentum within teams. They know they're not going to get relegated, they're not going to win the league itself, so it'll be a matter of pride and just getting the 3 points under the belt.
Okay, that's the Premier Division. First Division all wrapped up, and the Cup games. There's only one thing left for us to do, that's to take a break and come back with all the action and the highlights from the Vets League. So stick around and we'll be back for that after this short break.
You are watching ILFL Soccer Nights.
Sponsored by Hawk and Eagle.